Boo has just been really happy. He's been rubbing up on everything in this room. It's like he's high off this medicine.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Boo, Sammy, Richard, Nancy, Goldie, Ziggy, Ringo, Eva, Hydrox, and Ditto, the Lucky Ferals.
It's about 9:45 a.m. and I just came in here to check on Boo. Hey Boo, good morning. And it looks like he ate what was left, or most of what was left of his rabbit pate. And this was turkey deli meat. I gave him 2 slices of the all-natural oven roasted turkey deli meat, and I pureed it in some water. So it looks like he ate some of that. How you doing, Boo? You feeling okay? So let me fill you in on what happened. So last night, I was up later than I wanted to be. So around 12:30 a.m., I came into this room, and I was like, I'm just going to lay down here on the day sofa. I grabbed a blanket from the closet, and I laid down here, and as soon as I did, Boo jumped on top of me. Now, Boo has done that in the past a lot. Like, if I lay down, Boo will either come and lay next to me, or he'll lay on top of me. But what was different was that he wasn't just laying on top of me. He was rolling around on top of me. Like, I don't know if it's a side effect of the medication that he's on, and I looked at the side effects this morning, and all the side effects for this medication are, like, negative side effects. But Boo has just been really happy. He's been rubbing up on everything in this room. It's like he's high off this medicine or something. And the way he was like rolling around on me, I was like, this cat is just so happy right now. So that might be a side effect of what he's on, or maybe he's just, you know, happy to not be in pain, because I really think that the tooth was causing him pain over the past several days. I guess I fell asleep because then sometime around 2:30 in the morning, Boo went over to the window. And so then what I did was I got up and I was like, okay, Boo, I'm going to leave. So then Boo came back to the day sofa, and then he was like laying in the blanket. So I was like, okay, I'm going to leave. I'll go to my bed, and then you just go to sleep and relax the rest of the night. So the other thing that happened last night is that Nancy spent the night upstairs. Nancy spent the night upstairs with the older cats. I think she was concerned about Boo, because this morning when I woke up, she was laying in the hallway, like kind of outside of Boo's room. And I was like, oh, wow, I wonder if she's concerned about him. There were no fights with the other cats. I looked at the security camera footage. At one point, she was sleeping in one of the cat towers by the window. And then it looked like she was sleeping in the little cat bed underneath a piece of furniture in the living room. Splash slept on the couch. Stella has a favorite spot on the floor next to the coffee table. And Simba, I don't know where he was sleeping, but around 6 o'clock in the morning, I heard a cat meowing. It sounded just like Boo. And I was like, uh-oh, what's going on with Boo? So I opened my door, and it ends up that it was Simba. Oh, I also should say that when I went to bed at like 2:30 in the morning, I was like, I'm going to shut my door so I could get good sleep, so no cats will bother me. But then at 6 o'clock in the morning, someone was meowing at the door. I thought it was coming from this room because it sounded just like Boo. But when I opened the door, it was Simba. So Simba came running into the room, and I was like, okay, Simba. He wanted to go on the bunk bed by the window, but I checked on Boo anyway, and Boo was underneath the day sofa sleeping. So I know it wasn't Boo. So today is supposed to be a very cloudy day. I don't know if we're getting rain today. It's supposed to be around 80 degrees. So it's going to be a good day to stay home and get things done. It's also like the last day of August. So I need to do a lot of things to kind of like wrap up the month, like work-wise and stuff. I also want to make 2 more batches of homemade raw food for Boo. And I would like to get a video edited and posted. And so that's on the agenda. Boo's going to stay in this room today. I will be giving him his medicine relatively soon. What I want to do now is cook up some scallops, and then I'm going to give him his medicine in like a scallop. and see if he'll eat it that way. I need to think of things that I know he's definitely going to eat. I don't want him grooming himself. He also got flea comb last night. And I should mention that he has not been bleeding since yesterday. So fingers crossed that he continues to not bleed, because, you know, I don't want him losing a bunch of blood. So right now he's not bleeding. Yesterday he got his medicine around 11 a.m., 11:30 a.m. So that's why I'm not in a rush to give him his medicine too soon this morning. He'll still get it a little bit earlier than he did yesterday, but I don't want to give it too soon. Also, the medicine that he's on, I have to look up the name of it. You can only give it to a cat for 3 days. So it is, it's a painkiller, but it's also anti-inflammatory. And a lot of cats get it like after surgery and stuff. But Boo didn't have a surgery. He just had, you know, a wiggly tooth. But Boo is very happy. You're a happy boy, right, Boo? Boo's very happy. He enjoys time in his room, right, Boo? Okay. All right, good boy. I'm going to clean up your plates, and then you'll have breakfast soon, okay? Okay. Every time a cat is in this room for, like, health reasons, it's always like they are at a special cat hotel. They get amazing service, right, Boo? I just steamed some scallops for the cats, and I'm hoping I'll be able to get the medicine into Boo in a steamed scallop. So I have a little bit here just as a test to make sure he's going to eat this. Maybe I'll cut that into smaller pieces, but it is very soft. Okay, let's see if he'll eat this. Here's Boo. You want a little bit of a scallop, Boo? You going to eat it? If he eats it, then he'll get another one with his medicine in it. And hopefully this is not going to irritate his tooth because we're doing so good. Okay, it looks like he's eating it. I'm going to try to cut the next one into smaller pieces. More, you going to finish that one piece? You want to finish it? You done? You done? So here's another scallop that I cut into small pieces, and you see the little pill next to it? So I'm going to cut the pill into smaller pieces. It crumbles very easily. I'm going to mix the small pieces of the pill in the scallop, and then hopefully he'll eat the whole thing. The pieces of the tablet are in the scallop, and let's see if he'll eat it. Ooh, you want a scallop? Want a scallop? Okay, there's your scallop. Eat your scallop. Eat it, Boo. Eat the scallop. Why are you not eating it? You just had a piece of it. Now you eat it. Eat the scallop. Eat it. Eat the scallop, Boo. Come on, Boo. You just had it. Here, eat it again. Okay, you want a churro on it? You want me to mix a churro on it? You want me to get a scallop churro? Okay, you eat it. You eat it, Boo. Eat the scallop. Yeah, eat this. Eat that. You want to put churro on it? Want churro? I'm going to give him a chicken and shrimp churro. I'll put it on the scallop. Hopefully he'll eat it. He ate the churro off of the top, so what I did was I gave him the rest of the churro and then I mixed it in, so hopefully he'll eat the whole thing now. Boo ate almost the entire scallop. Alright, he just got everything off of the plate. I had to use a little bit of Fortiflora to get him to finish. And this is the Fortiflora packet. It's a probiotic from Purina Pro Plan Veterinary. And this was first suggested for, I think it was Stella, when she was having an upset stomach, like digestive issues. And ever since then, I realized that it works as a really good way to entice a cat to eat something, especially if you need to get some kind of medicine into them. I use this on Ditto quite often to get him to eat. So it does kind of work as an appetite stimulant. I'm not too crazy about this because it kind of reminds me of like Lipton cup of soup. And, you know, Lipton cup of soup does not have the best ingredients. It's usually full of MSG and stuff. But this has like liver flavoring. And it does get the cats to eat something. And I use this as sparingly as possible. So the dosage for this is like 1 package per day per cat. But what I do is I just open it up and then I just sprinkle the tiniest amount on something. And that way I can make this little package usually last several days. In Boo's case, I'm trying to get him to eat more, so maybe this 1 pack will last like 1 day or 2 days. So I'm just really happy that he took his medicine. So he should be feeling good today also. I was just flea combing Boo. I actually got a flea off of him. So like, what's going on with this revolution? He got it yesterday. They're supposed to keep fleas off of him for a month. But I just got a flea off of him. So I'm going to comb him again. But maybe with this medicine he's on, he's not realizing that he has the fleas because he's not itching like he usually does. I just gave him some of the homemade raw food that I made for him. I added in a little bit of warm water, so it's kind of like a soupy consistency. And hopefully he'll eat that. He seems to have a decent appetite right now. One of the side effects of the medicine that he's on is a loss of appetite, so. Good morning, Ziggy. She's waiting to get flea combed. Good morning. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Sammy. Let me show you what I just found in the bathroom. I just saw this. So obviously that's a litter box, and then this is the grass mat that helps to catch litter. And it looks like someone, I don't know if they had an accident on this grass mat, but looks like there's some poop on it. So they decided to cover it with the litter. So that shows you how smart cats are, by covering their poop like that. So I wanted to tell you a story about what happened to me yesterday when I went to buy cat litter. Come on up, Boo. So I went to one of the local pet supply stores where I normally shop about twice a month. And when I go there, I buy enough cat litter to last about 2 weeks. And sometimes I'll also buy some cat food or some cat treats. They don't have the best prices there on everything, but some things they do. And they do have coupons, and they do have like a savings club. So, you know, when I use all of them together, it can be a good deal. So I was at the cat litter. And I normally buy like at least 6 bags of cat litter at a time. These are 18-pound bags of cat litter. And, you know, I never buy like everything that they have. So if they only have 6 bags left, I'll only buy like 4 bags. I'll always leave a few bags for someone else that needs some. But they were fully stocked when I was there. So I was like, great, I'm going to buy 6 bags. So I start loading them into my cart, my shopping cart, and I noticed that there was an elderly woman a few feet away from me, and she was also buying cat food, and she started looking at me and watching me, and every time I put another bag of cat litter in my shopping cart, her eyes got bigger and bigger, and she was like, oh my gosh. So finally she said something, and she was like, how many cats do you have? And I was like, I have 11 rescues. And she goes, oh, okay. And I was like, how many cats do you have? And she told me that she only has 1 cat. And then we got to talking, and she just started telling me like her whole story. So it ends up that she had a cat, and what happened was the cat was sick, and she brought it to the same vet where I had the lucky 7 spayed and neutered. And I was like, oh, that's a weird coincidence. You know, I didn't say that, but I was thinking that. And she was telling me how horrible that they were, that they like charged her so much money. They didn't really do anything for the cat. And they kept the cat there for like 5 days. They're like, well, we need to keep it for observation, so we're going to board it here. And the cat was there like for almost a week, and nothing was getting better. They really weren't doing anything. So finally she got fed up with that, and she's like, you know, I'm coming to get my cat. And she ended up picking up the cat and taking it to another vet. And then she was telling me about the other vet. And then she said the other vet was great. And it ended up that the cat had cancer. So she had to put the cat down. And I was like, yeah, I know what that's like. I had a cat with cancer. So then she said, but she didn't want to put the cat down on Friday the 13th. She goes, I did not want that. So what happened was someone at the vet's office actually stayed there or came back to work, and they put the cat down like right after midnight on the next day. She said it was like January 14th. So I was like, oh, well, that was really nice of them to, honor your wishes of not wanting the cat to cross on, Friday the 13th. So she was thrilled with that vet, and she was telling me, that she really, really likes them. And then she was telling me how she got her current cat, and it was just really strange. So she was telling me that her husband had passed away. Now, I don't know if her husband passed away before her other cat passed away or after her other cat passed away, but she said her husband had passed away, and, she was all alone. She didn't have her other cat, and she decided that it was time for her to get another cat. So she went to one of the local pet stores that always has like adoptions on weekends from local rescues. So she said, she filled out all the forms, but they wanted almost $200, and there was absolutely no guarantee that she was actually going to get the cat. It was just like an application fee. And I was like, that's crazy. I never heard of something like that, but I don't know how many years ago this was. I know now, like, all the rescues are so overloaded with cats and stuff. Even the shelters are overloaded that, I don't know how much they're charging, but I can't imagine that they would be charging $200 without even a guarantee that you're going to get the cat. So she said, she couldn't afford to pay that. So she didn't go with that. And then she was sitting at home one day, and I guess she was outside on her porch, and she said she's still at her husband's car. And all of a sudden, this little cat came running toward her from underneath her husband's car. And she said it was a little tuxedo cat. And the cat that she had previously was also a tuxedo cat. So she interacted with the cat, and the cat was pretty friendly to her. And the more she interacted with the cat, the more she was like, oh my gosh, this cat is like my previous cat reincarnated. And she swore by the fact that her husband sent it to her because it came from underneath the husband's car, and the husband did not want her to be alone. So she's like, I swear my husband sent this cat to me. And she was also convinced that the cat was her previous cat reincarnated because they were both tuxedo cats. And the one that had passed away was a male tuxedo cat. And the one that came from under the car was a female tuxedo cat. But their personalities and the things that they like and everything were like exactly the same. And I was a little freaked out by that because, that happened to me with Sammy. When Sammy escaped from the trap, like she was the first member of the Lucky Seven that was trapped. When she escaped from the trap, everything that she did in this room was exactly like Ditto. I remember thinking, oh my God, she's just like Ditto. Oh my God, that's exactly what Ditto did. And I was really thinking, like, is Sammy Ditto? Like, did Ditto reincarnate and come back as Sammy? Because they were both tuxedo cats, and they were so similar. Even now that I've gotten to know Sammy better, she's a little bit different than Ditto, but there are still so many things about her personality that are so similar to Ditto's personality. We also have to remember that when Ditto was a house cat at the end of his life, he was sick the entire time. So I never really got to know him as a healthy house cat with, you know, his regular personality, like when he wasn't sick. So chances are good that he was probably even more similar to Sammy than like we even know. I'm trying to get Boo not to groom himself because I don't want him to upset his tooth. Don't groom yourself, Boo, okay? Do you want me to get your wipes? You want to get your wipes? So I ended up having a pretty lengthy conversation with this woman in the pet store, and it was just really interesting to hear her story, and especially about the tuxedo cats, because it really, really reminded me of Ditto and Sammy. Like, if you ever like have a weird situation like that, and then you just get like the chills, and you're like, oh my god, that is just like, where is this coming from? It was kind of like that. So she said that she has one cat currently, and you know, it's enough for her, and she's really happy with her cat, and obviously she treats the cat really well. She was buying a lot of food and treats for it, so I know it's very well taken care of. And she was easily in her 80s, and she was very nice, and I just thought it was really interesting. And then like we went our separate ways in the store, but then we crossed paths again, and she was telling me about something else, and I was like, oh, that's really good to know. Thank you. I forget what it was. Boo. Boo, what was it? What was she telling me? What was she telling me, Boo? I don't remember. It's always interesting. The people that I meet at pet stores are always very interesting. I just gave Cousin Oliver a meaty stick. I don't know if you could see him. I know there's a lot of reflections on the windows right now. It looks like he's chewing on it. It looks like he's going to eat it. He was hanging out on a patio chair. And I thought he might be hungry, so I thought I'd give him a snack. Yeah, looks like he's enjoying it. Lately, the cats have not been too excited about meaty sticks. So I've been trying to like give them little pieces in their food and stuff, but then they end up leaving it on their plate. But it looks like he liked it. I mean, the one good thing about having a feral cat outside is they're usually not too picky when it comes to food. They usually eat anything you give them, so you can get rid of stuff that the inside cats don't really like. Here's Boo, and I just gave him some of the freshly made beef-based cat food. He's gonna try it out. So I guess he approves. He's eating it. I added quite a bit of water to it. You see it's a lot more soupy. I'm trying to keep his food as soft as possible while also getting a decent amount of liquid into him. This is what's left of his breakfast, and this was the chicken-based cat food that I made yesterday. As you can see, he enjoyed a lot of it. He really enjoys beef. Normally, I'll just give him chunks of beef to chew on, and he really likes that. And the majority of the time when I'm making beef-based homemade cat food, I don't put the beef through a grinder, and I don't put the beef through a food processor. I'll just cut it into small chunks with a knife, and then I'll mix in the ground up organ meats, like pureed organ meats. It makes a nice gravy for it, and then I'll add the rest of the ingredients, and they usually really like that. But today, because of his tooth issue, that's why I wanted to make this as smooth as possible, and that's why I used a food processor. So this recipe is called smooth beef. Normally when I'm feeding the cats, that recipe is called chunky beef. It's very similar. Okay, so I'll let him enjoy the rest of this. This is like a midday meal for him. And I'm glad he's eating it because the vet said to make sure he eats well. And yeah, I'm happy that he likes it. I just gave some to Ringo. He can be a very picky eater. He's not going to eat it. If he doesn't eat it, I'll just let it sit there because someone else will eat it. Let's give it to Simba. Maybe Simba will like it. You want to eat it, Simba? You want to try it? Want to try it, Simba? You want it? Yep. I just gave some to Splash. Is Splash going to eat it? Okay, you don't want it? There's Boo, and he's having the turkey-based food for dinner. I did sprinkle some powdered freeze-dried chicken on top because that is his favorite meal topper. And that's what the other cats are having on their meal right now. They're having homemade food, just a different recipe. And he can smell the freeze-dried chicken from here. So he was like, I'm not eating until you put some on my food. There's Booey's on the day sofa. He's resting comfortably with the music on. I don't want to disturb him, but he looked really cute, so I thought I would show him to you.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Boo, Sammy, Richard, Nancy, Goldie, Ziggy, Ringo, Eva, Hydrox, and Ditto, the Lucky Ferals.
This is Onsior Robenacoxib for cats, and Boo's been taking this for the past 2 days. I'm just about to give him his final dose, so I just thought I would film this so I have a record of it. These are 6 milligrams per tablet, and the dose is 1 tablet by mouth every 24 hours for 3 days, give with food. And the vet said that this could be crushed up in his food, so that's what I've been doing. It comes in this blister pack, and there are some empty little blisters, and then the round ones have the little pills in them. They're very small pills. This is what they look like, and what I do is I just take a knife and I cut them into smaller pieces. And these are the smaller pieces, so I'm going to mix this into a little bit of food for him. I give him like an appetizer size portion before I give him his full meal. That way I can know that he took the entire dose, and it's easier to get him to eat a smaller portion than the full meal. Also, I should mention that one of the side effects of this medication is loss of appetite. And I don't understand why the vets would prescribe this, because they specifically told me to make sure he eats, because he was slightly anemic and he had slightly low potassium, most likely from blood loss, like for the 24 hours prior to him going to the vet, he was bleeding. So they're like, make sure he eats well. And then they prescribe him this medication where like the main side effect is loss of appetite. He's been getting it for the past 2 days. Today's the last day. They say only give this to a cat for 3 days, not longer than that. So that's why he's getting it. This is an anti-inflammatory, and it's also a pain reliever, I believe. This is the portion that he's getting the medication mixed into. So I just have to get him to eat this small portion, then he'll get the rest of his breakfast. He just finished his plate, and I would say that's a success. This is some of the homemade raw food that I made for him yesterday. This is beef-based food. He seems to enjoy this the most so far, so I'm going to give him the rest of his meal. It is 10:30 a.m. Hello, Boo. And Boo had his medicine today. He had it in a little appetizer portion, and then I gave him some more food. So it looks like maybe he ate some of the food that I gave him, but I'm going to give him a little Fortiflora on there. Maybe that'll entice him to eat more of it. This is beef-based food. Okay, so he went back to eating it. He's been watching chipmunk videos on the iPad this morning. The window's open, and he's been behaving really good. He's not trying to get out of the room, and so far, he's not been bleeding. I don't want to jinx anything, but it's been a little over 24 hours now. He has not been bleeding at all, so that's good. I'm just trying to keep him comfortable in here today, comfortable in here tomorrow, and then the next day we're supposed to go to the vet, and the biggest challenge is getting him in the carrier, so we're going to be thinking positively about that. I still have to clean out the carrier from the last trip to the vet. I'll probably do it later today. It's about 8 p.m. I just gave Boo his dinner, so he's having some of the homemade raw food. This is chicken based, and I mixed in some warm water into it. And I also baked some haddock, and that's what that white stuff is. It's some flaked haddock. Boo usually likes fish, so I just put it on like one side of his food. In case for whatever reason he doesn't want it, like I only put it on one side. It is 10:30 p.m. and I'm here with Stella and Simba, and we're playing with some wand toys. Splash is in the cat tower. And look who's playing with us. Nancy's playing with Simba and Stella. They're all sharing a toy right now. Nancy was on the play rug with them a little bit earlier, but then I went to get the camera and she backed away. But she's been playing very nicely. Good morning, Nancy. It is 8:15 a.m. and look who slept upstairs with the bigger cats. I think Nancy misses Boo. How you doing, Nancy? And she was good. There were no issues or fights or anything. Right, Nancy? You're a good girl, Nancy. You're a good girl. Good morning, Boo. It's so bright in this room. I love this room because of the big windows. This room has the best sun in the house. How you doing, Boo? And it looks like Boo left quite a bit of food there from yesterday. I'm going to give him a churu, and then I need to start getting ready for my day. So that is the carrier from when Boo went to the animal hospital the other day. I definitely have to clean that out today. So I'm going to remove that from the room. I don't know if I should do it now. And I'm also thinking of getting in the car and taking like a test run up to the vet's office that we have to go to tomorrow. Because I've never been there before and it's at least 30 minutes away. It could potentially take 30 to 40 minutes to get there. So I'm thinking maybe it'll be easier if I go by myself to check out the area, see where everything is situated, than having to deal with a stressed out cat in the car like the first time I drive there. It's definitely not like it's just around the corner. It is quite a ways, so I might do that today. Feeling good, Boo? Feeling good, Boo? Boo says he's feeling good. It does not look like he's bleeding, which is good. Okay, Boo, I'll give you a churu, and then I'll put your breakfast together in a little while, okay? I'm outside with the carrier. I just took out the training pad. It had blood on it, and I just realized that there's a bunch of blood in the bottom of the carrier also. So I'm going to use this Resolve Pet Expert. It's a stain and odor remover. It says it penetrates deep to lift and remove stains like feces, vomit, tract, and mud. It also works excellent on blood. So what's been happening is when I spray this on blood, it gets like white and foamy where the blood is. Do you see? Do you see how the blood spots are now like white and foamy? The battery died on the camera, but can you see like where the blood spots are? You can see that it got really foamy and it's lifting up that blood. So I'm going to wipe this out with a paper towel, and then I'm probably going to hose it down and clean it up really good. So everything wiped out beautifully, and then I just grabbed the hose and I hosed this thing out. Like I hosed all the soap out of the inside and I hosed the outside down, and that's another reason why I love these carriers. I think they're the perfect carriers for cats, not only because they have two doors, they have the front door and the top door, so it makes it really easy to get the cat in and out of the top door. But like with Boo in the past, sometimes I had to put him in the side door. I had to put this thing on the side and dump him in the side door. So it does give you that option. The other thing that's great about it is you could just hose it down. You could just scrub it out, hose it down, and leave it to dry. I'm going to leave it out here to dry in the sun, move it over to a dry area. But it's just so much better than like one of those soft-sided carriers. That would be a complete mess to clean. It would just be so much more difficult to clean. And the other thing I love about these carriers is that they're pretty much escape proof. I don't want to jinx that because Boo has escaped from I would say a semi-hard sided carrier before. And of course, Sammy escaped from a trap. But so far, these are really secure. I always make sure that both of the doors are securely shut, and so far I have not had any escapees, knock on wood. Don't want to jinx that, but that's another reason why I really like these carriers. It is 1:50 p.m. There's Boo. He was laying by the door when I came in. Hello, Boo. I was playing his favorite Music for Cats album, and it seems to relax him a lot, so he was like laying here. I just put a new training pad on the floor, and I brought the carrier inside. I just put it here on the table for now. I think this is a perfect height. If I need to lift Boo up, get him into the carrier over here. Boo does not like to see the carrier, so when I brought it in the room, he went over by the windows. And maybe that's why he was laying by the door, because the carrier was outside of the windows, and he didn't want to be near it. I'm happy to report that I just got back from taking a ride to the vet's office that we have to go to tomorrow. And it wasn't bad to get there. It was mostly highway driving, but I am glad that I went today without a cat in the car, because there was a tricky turn off and I almost made the wrong turn. And I could totally see myself making that wrong turn if I had a howling cat in the car and it was my first time making the drive. So thankfully, I figured out that I needed to get off at a different exit. So I was able to reroute myself, and everything was fine. And it ends up that the vet's office is literally down the road, like a few miles down the road from a location that I used to go to all of the time. So when I graduated from school, my friends and I all kind of went in separate directions. And there was a place that we used to meet up like once a month to have dinner. And it was centrally located. So my friend from Connecticut and upstate New York and New Jersey, we all kind of met there because it was all like in the middle of us. And we used to do that for quite some time. And then of course with COVID, that all stopped and we just never resumed it. But the vet's office is literally just down the road from there, like a few miles down the road. And it was really nice. So I drove up there, and from the outside it looks nice. And I think they might have even been open today because there were some cars there and there were some dogs in the parking lot. Like people were taking their dogs to, you know, do their business. There's like a little grassy area. And I looked at the dogs and the dogs were all happy. Even though they had like, you know, a bandage on their leg or something, they seemed happy. They didn't seem like unhappy or stressed. So I thought that was a good sign. And it was beautiful weather. It was like perfect weather, sunny but not too hot. And yeah, I'm really happy I made the trip. And then on the way home, I decided to take like a more scenic route that doesn't involve like highways or tolls. So I went back the way I used to go there. Like there's like smaller roads that I used to take. So it was interesting to see like the new shopping centers that have popped up and stuff like that. So I stopped off at a supermarket and picked up some of the canned cat food that the Lucky 7 like. I stocked up on some of that. They didn't have too much of it there, and I don't like buying like every piece that they have. So I made sure that I left, you know, a good amount on the shelves for someone else who might need it for their cat. And then I had a nice drive back, and I just emptied the car, and now the back seat's all ready for Boo. There's a towel on the back seat, but other than that, it's empty. And yeah, just very happy that I made the trip. I'm actually going to give Boo a snack because he ate his breakfast, so I'm going to give him maybe some canned food, or I'll see if I have any leftover raw food for him in the refrigerator. I want to make sure he's eating good. Now that he's no longer on those pills, hopefully his appetite will come back a little bit better. Right, Boo? But other than that, he's in a good mood. After I clean a few things up, I'm going to grab my computer, and then I need to get some videos done. I need to get a Lucky Ferals video done, so I'll probably maybe work on it in here with Boo so he's not by himself. Okay, Boo? I just gave Boo a triple snack. It's really kind of like a lunch for him. So he's looking at a salmon squeeze up right now. I have a little bit of the leftover homemade raw food that I made for him. I don't know what flavor it is, so I just gave him whatever it is. And then I gave him a little bit of the Merrick Rabbit pate because he usually likes that also. And I sprinkled some of the calming Fortiflora on it. So this is the new Fortiflora. It's Calming Care. It's basically a special probiotic that's supposed to help calm cats down. Boo seems to really like it. And again, I just sprinkled the tiniest bit on his food. It's kind of like an appetite stimulant. It is about 5:15 p.m. and I just gave Boo part of his dinner. I probably added a little bit too much water into it, but he's been eating a lot of soupy food recently, so this is kind of like more turkey soup for him. I also put some of the Fortiflora Calming Care on top, the lightest sprinkle of it that I could, and hopefully he'll eat some of that. It is a bit early for his dinner, but I don't mind getting him on an earlier schedule or even giving him another snack later. This is what I have going on outside of Boo's room. So this is one of the tall baby gates that I had purchased years ago. I think I got this when Boo was in quarantine and I first had gates in the door. And I quickly realized that this gate really wouldn't be too good because the cats can easily jump over it, which they do. But right now I have it here as kind of like a corral. So what happens is if I open the door and Boo comes running out the door, he sees the gate and he immediately backs up and goes in the room. And that's happened like once or twice so far. And so I just make sure that I'm inside of this gate before I open the door and it's not easy for him to get out of it. There are 3 sections to this gate, so it does have hinges and it's really easy to just like open it like a gate, step in, and then close it behind me. So this is what I've been using. There's Sammy. Hey, Sammy. Nancy's been spending some time laying around like the bottom of the gate here or on that side, especially at night. I think she's concerned about Boo. But so far this has been working for the most part. Boo's not even trying to get out of that room. I think he's really enjoying some alone time. There's Boo. He's on the day sofa. He's resting comfortably with the music on. I don't want to disturb him, but he looked really cute, so I thought I would show him to you. He ate a little bit of the dinner that I gave him, but that's okay. He could eat the rest later. You okay, Boo? Okay, you relax. You relax. She says she didn't know if they had fallen out or if they were extracted. And I said, well, he hasn't had any teeth extracted other than the one fang.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Boo, Sammy, Richard, Nancy, Goldie, Ziggy, Ringo, Eva, Hydrox, and Ditto. The Lucky Ferals.
It is 9 a.m. Good morning, Boo. And this is Boo's breakfast so far. This is some homemade chicken-based smooth cat food. And I added some warm water to it. How you doing, Boo? Boo's very happy this morning. So when I checked on Boo earlier, he was laying on this blanket on the day sofa. So I didn't want to disturb him and wake him up too early. Last night, I laid in here for about a half hour with him. And I laid down on the day sofa. I used that as a little blanket. And then Boo laid on top of me for a little while. And then I said, okay, Boo. I'm going to go to bed. And Boo's so smart. He knew what that meant. So he got off of me and went by the window. And then I went to bed. And I got a really good night's sleep. Very happy. And last night was like the first night in months that it got down to like 50-something degrees. So the weather is starting to change for fall. This is what's left of Boo's last meal yesterday. So I'm going to pick that up and put his breakfast down. You going to eat that? You going to eat that? I just sprinkled a little bit of this Calming Care on his food. And now he's eating it. He really loves this stuff. But I don't want to give him too much of it. So I give just a tiny dusting of it. So today's the day that we have to take a ride up to the new vet. I need to leave here by 12:30. That'll give me enough time to drive. But I have to check the traffic. If there's traffic, I might have to leave before that. And I don't know. I was thinking of trying to get Boo in a carrier around 11:30, 11:45. Like, I need to leave myself enough time. So if the first attempt is not successful, I have chances to try again. I don't know if I want to bring something in the room to block off access to like underneath the day sofa. Like, I don't want to stress Boo out. I think it's better if I just keep him as calm as possible. I'm definitely gonna put his music on, and hopefully that'll relax him, and then I could just pick him up and put him in the carrier like I did last time. That's what I'm hoping. So I'm gonna let him enjoy his breakfast, and I need to get everyone else fed. It's 11 a.m. and here's Simba, and I put the relaxing cat music on for Boo, the Music for Cats album that I used the other day to get him into a carrier. I'm gonna try the same thing today, where I go in there and I give him like a churu, and I let him eat the churu, and then I pick him up right away and put him in the carrier. Hopefully that'll work. If he has to sit in a carrier for an hour before we leave, I'm okay with that. Maybe he'll just like calm down and maybe it'll go better. I don't know. But I have to leave myself extra time because just in case, for whatever reason, I can't get him in the carrier and I need to try multiple times. So that's what's going on there. I also downloaded the music and I burned it onto a CD and I put it in my car and I was just playing it in the car and it sounds good. So I'm going to play that on the ride to the vet. I like using the CD player in my car because my audio system, anytime I have to use Bluetooth, sometimes it disconnects and it's just a pain in the butt. And also if I have to use like a flash drive, it's not the best connection. So I know the CD is foolproof. Just put it in, press play, no issues. So that's going on there. I need to get myself ready and then get a few other things done. It's 11:30 a.m. Look at these two babies. They love it up here. So when I was vacuuming the floor the other day, I just threw everything up on this TV unit. So it's like a blanket and some toys and other things. And for some reason, Nancy and Richard love laying on this. So I've just been keeping it here and letting them lay on it. I do have to clean it up soon, but they're enjoying it now. So I've been thinking that like after I clean everything up, I might just have to keep a bunch of blankets up here. Maybe some pillows for the cats. I don't know, cat beds. They've taken over like every comfortable area in my house. Here's Sammy. I need to start getting Boo ready. I'm kind of procrastinating right now because it's like 11:30. It's like, do I try to get him in the carrier now? Or do I wait? If I get him in the carrier now, he's going to sit there for an hour before we leave. But if I don't get him in the carrier now, then it gives me, other opportunities. So I don't know. Okay, guys, it was super easy to get him in the carrier. I gave him a squeeze up or churu. He was almost done with it, and I just picked him up and put him in the carrier. I really think it's this music. So I'm going to put the cover on the carrier, and my stress level is going to go down so much right now. That's really why I wanted to get him in the carrier as soon as I could for my stress level more than anything. So he's just going to relax here for an hour. It's 12 p.m., and here's Ringo and Eva, and every member of the Lucky Seven is upset about Boo because Boo's been crying and howling a little bit and shaking the carrier because he wants to get out. Here's Sammy. She was pawing at this basket. And here's Nancy. Nancy's hanging out by the door because she could hear Boo. You okay, Boo? So we still have another half hour before I want to leave. I still need to finish up a few things. I'm actually printing out the printout from the emergency room the other day just in case it wasn't emailed to the vet that we're going to today. Now, I did take this cover off and I sprayed this cover with the Feel Away spray, which is supposed to help, keep cats calm, although it doesn't seem to be working with Boo. And, I figured when I trapped the Lucky Seven, they all stayed in that trap for, a minimum of 12 hours. If I got lucky and I trapped one the night before, they would stay in the trap overnight and then I would take them to the vet in the morning. But as I kept trapping more and more of them, it was getting more and more difficult to get them in the trap. So I would have to make sure that I got them in the trap sometimes 24 hours in advance, sometimes 48 hours in advance. I think Ziggy might have spent the longest in the trap. She might have spent like 2 or 3 days. I would have to go look at the videos again. But I remember that some of them spent a lot of time in that trap. And of course I had the transfer cage attached to the trap. So it was a 36-inch trap, but then it was like another, 18 or 24 inches of the recovery cage. So it was bigger than a regular trap. They all survived. They all got through it. And we know Boo had a really bad TNR experience, so he doesn't like, being in confined spaces. And he's actually much better now that I'm here with him and I'm talking, because he's not flipping out as much. But I do need to continue getting myself ready. We only have, at this point, a little bit less than a half hour to go until we leave. I could leave early and then just drive really slowly. But as it is, if we leave at 12:30, we're still going to get there early. I'm just super happy that Boo went in the carrier. If I continue to be able to get him in the carrier very easily by using the relaxing music technique, then I don't have to get him in the carrier early. The reason why I felt like I had to get him in the carrier early today is because of a few weeks ago, that day that I could not get him in the carrier. No matter what I did, I could not get him in the carrier. And also from what happened when I tried to take him to the animal hospital, I could not get him in the carrier until I tried the relaxing music and the squeeze up. Now today was the second time I used the relaxing music and the squeeze up. So we're 2 for 2 with that. If we can do it 3 for 3 with that, like if I have to get him in the carrier again, and that works again really easily, then I pretty much can count on that working, and I don't have to try to get him in a carrier like earlier than necessary. So that's the situation. All of the Lucky 7 are very upset. They're like, what's going on? They're worried about Boo. And I think that's really cute. Stella, Simba, and Splash, I think they kind of have an idea of what's going on, because they've been looking at Boo through the door. Every time I open the door, they look in, they're like, what's going on? And Boo's been in here before. They know Boo's been in here before as far as this room goes, but the Lucky 7 don't really know that. So the last time Boo was in this room was when he was recovering from his tooth extraction. And at that point, the Lucky 7 were inside, but they had pretty much just moved downstairs. They really didn't know what was going on because everything was so new to them. But the other members of the OG4, the other 3 members of the OG4, they've seen Boo in and out of this room several times. And of course, when he first came inside, he spent 90 days in quarantine in this room. And toward the end of that, he was allowed out. He just couldn't mingle with the other cats. So they were on differing schedules. So when Boo was outside, then the other 3 were downstairs. And Boo got to roam around the house all night. And then the other guys would come up during the day. Kind of similar to what's going on now with the Lucky 7, where they go downstairs at night and then they come back up. So Boo's calmed down because I'm talking, which is good. So I'm going to leave. I still need to gather my things together. I still need to get the printouts done. And I don't know if there's anything else I could do to be productive today in the next 25 minutes. Okay, Boo, be calm, okay? Just relax, okay? Just relax, okay? We're going to go for a ride soon. You're going to be good. You're going to have some new friends. You're going to make some new friends today, Boo, okay? It's 12:15 right now, and here's Simba. He's relaxing in the cat tower. And I just checked the traffic report, and it's going to take us about 35 minutes to get to the vet. And I wanted to talk about things that I always bring with me when I have to go to a vet, because you never know how long you're going to be sitting there. I've literally sat at animal hospitals for hours. I think the longest was 4 or 5 hours. So some things that I always make sure that I have with me are a bottle of water. But I also like to bring a bottle of juice, a small water-sized bottle of juice also, because if I need a little bit of energy, I'll get that from juice and not so much from water. I also bring some snacks. I like to bring Larabars with me. Those are made from fruit and nuts, and they're really healthy, and they're kind of filling also. I also like to bring some hard candy. I like to bring some Gin-Gins. Those are good to have. I also like to bring some kind of reading material, some kind of light book. Today I'm bringing a book about animal communication, just like a paperback book, something really light that I can throw in my bag. And I also like to bring a little notebook and a pen in case I need to write anything down. Of course, you could always take notes in your phone, which is what I do sometimes. But in case there's an issue with the phone battery. The other thing would be like charger cables for the phone, because there have been situations where I have had to sit in a waiting room and like charge my phone. That's always something else that's good. And of course, some kind of like sweatshirt or sweater, because sometimes it's freezing in these places. Any kind of medication or supplements that Boo might be on. Like right now, he's not on anything, so I'm not bringing anything with him. But like when I went to the vet a few weeks ago and he had to take those calming drops before going to the vet, I made sure to bring those with me in case anyone needed to see them. And of course, any kind of paperwork. So I have the paperwork that I printed out from the emergency room, and I'm bringing that with me also. Here's Nancy and here's Ringo. And because it's Boo, I don't put any toys in the carrier with him, and I really can't put any blankets in the carrier with him because he's known to have accidents in the carrier. The majority of the times he either pees or poops, so anything that I put in there is just going to get ruined. And if I put a blanket in there instead of a training pad, then that blanket needs to be put into like a plastic bag to be brought home and put through the laundry. So it's just easier to use training pads because then those can be thrown out and then just replaced. So I keep some extra training pads in my car. I should actually put a few more in the car. But most of the time, the vet's office will replace those for me. So that is what I bring. And then, of course, if there's any kind of music, like today, I'm bringing the CD of the relaxing cat music for Boo. And that's pretty much it. We are just about halfway to the vet's office, and so far Boo's been doing really good. He's only howled a few times. Most of the time he's just relaxing. We're listening to this relaxing music for cat CD. It's even relaxing me. Like, I am just super relaxed right now. And it's a beautiful day, beautiful sunny day, not a cloud in the sky. It's only like in the low 70s right now, so let's hope the rest of the day goes well and the rest of this trip goes well. We just got to the vet and Boo was really good for the second half of the trip, and we were on time. We're actually a little bit early, which is fine. So I'm going to take him inside, and I'm going to be very interested to see what it looks like inside this new vet's office. Yeah, we're going to go in and see what they say. It is 2:30 and we just got home. So we didn't do bad at all considering we spent over an hour traveling. When we got to the vet's office, there were a lot of dogs in the waiting room. Some really big dogs and little dogs, and Boo was the only cat. There was one little kitten. I think they said the kitten was 5 months old. It was sick. It had been sick for a few days, and it was wrapped up in a blanket and wasn't even in a carrier. The little boy was just holding it. But thankfully, they took Boo almost right away. I was only waiting there maybe 10 minutes, and then they brought Boo in, and everyone was really nice. There were two vet techs. Well, there's a vet tech and a vet tech in training. They were very nice, and then also the vet that we saw was very nice. And Boo was examined, and she pointed out some stuff about his teeth that no one else had told me. Like, she was saying that his rear teeth have a lot of tartar on them, and he's actually missing some of the rear teeth. She says she didn't know if they had fallen out or if they were extracted, and I said, well, he hasn't had any teeth extracted other than the one fang. And look at this, guys. Look at this. No poop in the carrier and no pee in the carrier. And I really think it's because of this Music for Cats CD that I was playing. So I played the CD in the car on the way there and also on the way back. But Boo's problem is usually on the way there, that he either poops or pees in the carrier. And then when we were in the waiting room and also when we were in the exam room, what I did was I played it on my phone, and I put my phone on here, like on top, and then I put this cover over it. But I played it like really, really softly, so you really couldn't even like hear it much, but Boo obviously heard it. And so it definitely helped to relax him. He was probably the most relaxed I've seen him on the exam table. And he let the vet and the vet tech trim all of his nails, all of them, which was great. And he got weighed, So on their scale, he was almost 14 pounds. He was like 13.75 pounds. And she said that, he's doing good for a cat his age. The only issue that she really noticed was his teeth. And then we talked about, his dermatitis from the fleas. And she asked me if I wanted a refill of the Revolution, because I said the only thing he had was Revolution a few days ago. And she goes, oh, do you want a refill on it? Now I'm thinking she's going to give me one refill. It ended up being a box of 6, and that's expensive. So that was $150 that I did not expect. But I figured if I don't use it on Boo, I could maybe try to use it on Splash or some of the other cats, 6 doses of that. I'm sure I could use it somewhere. And we are going back in 2 days. So what they did was they printed out a list of the expenses for a dental procedure for Boo. And the low end was $1,600, but if he needs extractions, it could go up to $2,000. So I was like, okay. And she's like, when do you want to schedule it? And she told me that she does dentals once a month and that she actually had an opening on her next dental day. And I was like, okay, when is that? And she's like, in 2 days. So he's going back in 2 days. Right, Boo? You're going back. I know you don't like hearing that. But you're going back, and I have to drop him off early in the morning between 8 and 8:30. And if it's going to take us over a half hour to get there, we need to leave by 7:30. But it's probably going to be during rush hour, so we might hit a lot of traffic. I don't know. I'm going to have to see what the traffic's like tomorrow morning. And I drop him off there in the morning. And then what they do is they give him the anesthesia. Then they take x-rays. And then they do the dental work. They're going to clean his teeth. And she said if they need to do any extractions, they'll do some extractions. And then later in the day, I'll pick him up. I'm just hoping he doesn't have to have all his teeth removed. Because, she was telling me that cats do fine. If they have all their teeth removed, they could still eat. I don't know. I think it would be better if he had some of his teeth. He really likes chewing. Right, Boo? I don't know what's going to happen with that. I'm super, super happy that I figured out that Boo responds to this relaxing music for cat CD. I'm hoping it works so I could get him back in a carrier in a few days. And I just hope everything goes well. I hope everything goes well with the procedure and that they clean up his teeth and that he gets to keep them. And that everything is good. Right, Boo? Right, Boo? You happy? The vet said that Boo looks like a ladies' man. I was like, yeah, he's definitely a ladies' man. So then I was asking her, what do you suggest to do for a cat to keep their teeth healthy? And she's like, well, for dogs, there's a lot you could do, but for cats, there's really nothing you could do. She goes, a lot of it is genetics, and there's not a whole lot. Some cats get bad teeth and then others don't. So we do know that FIV is a factor with tooth health for cats. So I'm going to give Boo a treat. Boo, you want a treat? You want to squeeze up? You want a squeezy? You want a squeezy? You want churro? I'm going to give Boo a churro. He loves churros. So I'm actually kind of glad that the next appointment is relatively soon because I only need to keep him in this room another few days. So he'll stay in this room today and then tomorrow and then the following day he goes for the procedure and I have to remove all food by midnight the day before the procedure and then I can't give him breakfast, but he could have water. So the process is really similar to when I took all the cats to get TNR'd. It was kind of the same schedule. The only difference is that the vet that I used for the TNRs was quite a bit closer than this vet. About 15 minutes closer. Good job, Boo. Good job. It is 6:06 p.m. and look at this. This is a first. There's Sammy. Now, Sammy hangs out by the back door occasionally. But look at this. This is Ringo. And that's Eva. The three of them are hanging out by the back door. I've never seen this before. They look very comfortable. What are you guys doing? Look how big Ringo is. Ringo, you're such a big boy. He's sleeping with his head off the side of the step like that. And Sammy has her head on the door thing. I don't even know what they call it. The thing that keeps the door open. The spring or something. Hey, Ringo. Look at Ringo. Look at Ringo. Wow, he looks comfortable. Here's Boo. What you doing, Boo? He's been hanging out in his room. I gave him another squeeze up on this plate, but he didn't eat it. He did eat a few other chewers that were on the plate. So I ended up laying down on the day sofa. I was so tired. I was like, I'm just going to lay down in here for like a half hour. And it ended up being almost 2 hours. I fell asleep for a little while. And then I woke up and Boo is like laying on my legs and then I couldn't move. Tomorrow's going to be a normal day. Then the day after tomorrow, I have to get Boo back to the vet between 8 and 8:30 a.m. And I just found out that on Friday, I have a work meeting that I have to go to. And that's going to be between 8 and 9 a.m. on Friday. And to me, this is really early. Having to be somewhere at 8 a.m. is like really early for me. So this is going to be 2 early days in a row. And I'm definitely hoping that everything goes okay for Boo. Hopefully it's a normal day. I hope, it's a normal day. I drop him off. Everything's normal. They get the dental work done. I pick him up. Everything's normal. Hopefully, it's not going to be a crazy amount of aftercare because I was asking her today, like, so what happens if, you do a dental and you get some teeth taken out? They're like, well, then he would just, and she was like, well, he would just need to be on soft food for about a week. And I was like, oh, okay, because he's been on soft food for like the past 4 or 5 days and I still have a bunch of soft food in the freezer for him. So that should not be an issue. It's not fun having teeth extracted, so I'm definitely hoping he doesn't have to have a lot of teeth extracted. So the plan is that I am going to make him some shrimp. I'm going to have some shrimp for dinner. He's going to have some. And I'll give some to the other cats also. And then later today, when the Lucky 7 go downstairs, I'm going to let Boo out of this room because he's not bleeding. He's doing well. I just need to finish up some work stuff, and then I'm going to, clean up in here. I'll change the runner by the window that still has some blood stains on it, and I'll just make sure things are clean, so if the other cats want to come in here. So Boo can then, roam around all night, and potentially also during the day tomorrow, and then tomorrow night I'm going to put him back in here. So then he'll spend the night in here and then the next morning we'll go to the vet. I think that's a good compromise, right, Boo? Because you have not seen the other cats or the rest of the house in a few days, right, Boo? Right, Boo? Okay. All right, you hang out. I'll let you out soon, okay? So it ends up that Boo does not like squeeze-ups as much as he likes churros. And churro? A churro? Okay, I'll give you a churro. I think it's around 7:30 p.m. and what's going on with Boo? I think it's around 7:30 p.m. and I just cut up 2 little shrimps for Boo. And I'm going to give it to him. Hopefully they're small enough pieces, they're soft enough. I mean, I overcooked it, so I forgot that these are pre-cooked shrimp. I don't know how I could forget that because, they're the color of pre-cooked shrimp. So I put them in the steamer. I wasn't even thinking because I was in the middle of trying to finish some work today, like actual work. I wanted to make this for him for a treat because this seems to be his favorite food right now. I hope he's okay eating it. I hope it doesn't cause his mouth to bleed. We've been doing so good. He has not been bleeding for, several days now. I think he stopped bleeding about 4 days ago. I still have to scoop the litters and do the waters and everything. And I'm not going to let Boo out until everyone has eaten their food because I don't want him eating what the other cats are eating. It's 11:45 p.m. and I opened the door to Boo's room a few hours ago and he came out and he was hanging out in a cat tower in the other room. And then I got some squeeze-ups and churros and I was going to give him and Stella and Splash and Simba a treat in the living room. And then he came back in here and he wanted his churro in here. And he's been hanging out on the day sofa. So I was like, Boo, you want me to shut the door? Or you just want me to keep the door open? I think I'm going to keep the door open tonight. So if he wants to walk around, he can walk around. So I'm looking at Boo, and part of me is wondering if, they're going to take out his fang. You have one fang left, Boo. I mean, you have your two bottom fangs, but then he has this one top fang left. I don't know if they're going to take it out.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Boo, Sammy, Richard, Nancy, Goldie, Ziggy, Ringo, Eva, Hydrox, and Ditto, the Lucky Ferals.
It is 8:10 a.m. and I wanted to show you Boo because he was laying on the day sofa, but he jumped down. The minute I turn the camera on, he has to move. So this is where Boo slept last night. He slept here on this blanket on the day sofa. The door to his room was open all night, but he wanted to sleep here. Boo loves his room. Now you got some scabs on the back of your neck, Boo, so he must have been scratching himself. So this morning, he was in his room again and he didn't want to come out, so I just shut the door. So I guess he's going to spend another day in here. And there's a few reasons why Boo loves his room. Obviously, he gets all kinds of extra treats when he's in this room. And he has been getting lots of chew-roos and squeeze-ups, and he's been getting special food. And he doesn't have to share anything with anybody. There are no other cats in his space. So Boo likes that, and it's very comfortable for him. And of course, he spent the first 90 days as a house cat in this room. So Boo always really likes his room, right? And he has a good view of the patio. He has like the best light in the house. So Boo's very, very happy. And by this time tomorrow, we should be on the road already. So I know, Boo, you got to go back. You got to go back. We're going to go back to the vet. We're going back to the vet, and then he's going to have his dental procedure. You're going to have your dental procedures tomorrow, Boo. And then you're going to come home, and then you're going to maybe be on special food. Here, let me scratch you. Let me scratch you here. You want me to comb you? You want to be combed? You want to comb you? You got fleas? He shouldn't. So for the past few days when I've been combing him, he has not had any fleas. The Revolution has been working really well. Today for breakfast, we're doing a little taste test with Stella, Splash, and Simba. So I have 4 varieties of Sheba Perfect Portions. I have salmon, turkey, chicken and liver, and seafood entree. And I have the outer edge of these plates labeled. And I have 3 plates. I'm going to see which ones the cats like the best. Stella's eating hers. She's starting with the turkey. Simba is not eating his. He's waiting for some kind of topping. And Splash completely walked away. Just walked away. I put some freeze-dried chicken on top of Simba's, and now he's interested in it. So we'll see if he eats anything. Stella's done with the turkey, and she's moving on to the salmon. Simba's eating the turkey also. Maybe he's just eating the freeze-dried chicken. It's about 20 minutes later. Let's take a look at the results of the experiment. So this is Stella's plate. She ate the turkey, and it looks like she nibbled on the other ones also, but she didn't finish them. And this is Simba's plate, and it looks like he nibbled on the seafood, he nibbled on the salmon, and he didn't really touch the turkey or the chicken. And this is Splash's plate. He nibbled on all of them, but really didn't finish anything. So it seems that the cats are no longer fans of the Sheba Perfect Portions. This is Boo's plate. He had homemade raw cat food. It was smooth chicken. Looks like he ate a good half of it. I mean, there was a lot of food in that plate. It's about 4:05 p.m. right now. And Boo's laying on the day sofa, so I decided to lay down next to him. And he was so happy because I had his favorite music on. The relaxing music for cats. And he looked like he was just like in complete bliss, like the expression on his face was one of complete bliss. And of course I did not have a camera. So then I left and I got the camera. But then I just shut the music off because I don't want a copyright strike. I'm going to put it back on. Maybe he'll do it again. He was so happy, right, Boo? Right, Boo? You happy, boy? He was taking a nice nap. Okay, buddy? Okay, buddy? You're itchy? Why are you itchy? You don't have any fleas. You don't have any fleas, Boo. You don't have any fleas. So I'm looking at Boo, and part of me is wondering if, they're going to take out his fang. You have one fang left, Boo. I mean, you have your two bottom fangs, but then he has this one top fang left. I don't know if they're going to take it out. It is loose, so they might. You okay, Boo? Okay, he's like, put the music back on. Put the music back on, right, Boo? Elevator up. Elevator butt. Okay, I'll put it back on. I'll put it back on. I have the CD on like a loop, so it just keeps repeating and repeating. It's going to be different to see Boo without at least one fang. He doesn't like even thinking about that. He's like, don't even talk about that. Okay, you want to put your music back on? I just put his music back on. Now he's happy again. Okay. Just put my hand here. What if I just put my hand here? You okay, buddy? Someone's mowing their lawn in the distance. You like your music? You like your music. So this music includes like cat purring, and then it almost sounds like cats, but it's like a violin or something like that. Okay, you want me to... Boo, do you want me to comb you? I just combed you. He had no fleas. Boo says he needs an afternoon snack. So this is the last churu in the room, but I have plenty more in the kitchen. I was in the supermarket last week and they had boxes of 20 churros on sale for $9.99. So that means they're like 50 cents each, which is a good price. So I bought like 4 boxes of them. Okay. Well, I'm hoping that his mouth will feel better for him because he must have some kind of discomfort, with the loose tooth and anything else that's going on in there. So maybe he'll feel better. You finish? Good? It is 6:22 p.m. I just came into Boo's room and I am giving him some dinner. This is some homemade raw food. This is turkey based. He has not been the biggest fan of turkey based food, but turkey, is known for relaxing people and animals because of the tryptophan content. So that's why he's getting that. And I don't think he's going to eat it right away, so I'm going to put some of the Calming Care Fortiflora on it. And I'm trying to get everyone done early today. So it's 6:20. I'm going to get Boo fed. Then I need to put fresh water in all the water bowls and do all the litter. And then get everyone fed. And I would like to be in bed by 10 p.m. Around 10 p.m. I'd be happy to be in bed by 11 because I need to get up at 6 tomorrow. We need to be out of here by 7:30, right, Boo? We're going to get up early tomorrow. So that's the plan. It's kind of hot in here, Boo. Now he's eating. There's a lot of noise coming from outside. Look at Nancy. She's sleeping. She's zonked out. She's so cute. Sometimes I wonder if her two front legs, like her arms, are a little bit short. Just from the way I see her like laying sometimes, and also like the way she walks. She needs to cut back on the crunchies. Hey, Nancy. Hello, Nancy. Stella's here looking at Nancy. You tired? Okay, you take a nap. It is now 7:21 p.m. and I just gave Boo a few crunchies on his food. He's not the biggest fan of this food, and I was like, okay, let me give you a few crunchies. So I kind of put them on there like chocolate chips or in a chocolate chip cookie. And usually what he does is he eats the food around the crunchy and he'll eat the crunchy also. So he's enjoying himself. He has not had crunchies in over a week. So today would have been, tonight would be exactly a week from when his mouth started bleeding last week. Now, I don't know if the crunchies are going to cause his mouth to bleed. The vet didn't seem to think so, because the vet was telling me, yeah, cats, when they lose all their teeth, even if, they have no teeth, they could still eat kibble. And I was like, yeah, because they swallow it whole. And she's like, yeah, they do that. So, she was telling me that. Now, he hasn't been crunching on anything in over a week. So, I figured, let me give him some crunchies because he enjoys it. I don't know what the odds are that it's going to start his mouth bleeding. But if it does, he's going to the vet in the morning anyway. So in just about 12 hours, we're leaving, in like 12 hours and 15 minutes. The goal is to leave here at 7:30. I'm going to try to get him in the carrier around 7:15. I have to get myself completely ready, then I'm going to try to get him ready. Okay. If he doesn't want that, I'm going to give him some canned food also. It is almost 10:30, and I just made Boo some shrimp. Here you go, Boo. Here's 2 pieces of shrimp. I put them in the mini food processor, so they're nice and soft. It's kind of like a puree of shrimp. That's his favorite food right now, so hopefully he'll eat it. I'm going to clean up these 3 other plates of leftovers. I'm going to give Stella, Splash, and Simba a piece of shrimp each. I'm going to have one, it'll be we're having like a toast to Boo and his dental procedure tomorrow. And then I'll come back in here, remove what's left of his food, shut the light off, and go to bed. I want it to be in bed at 10, but hopefully I'll be in bed by 11. The lucky 7 have already been taken care of. They had playtime. They had treats. So they're good. I have my alarm set. I have like 3 alarms set. The plan is that when I get up tomorrow, I'm going to come in here and put the relaxing music on for Boo. And it'll be playing for about an hour before I get him in the carrier. And that will be very similar to the past 2 times that I've used this music. So hopefully 3 times the charm. Okay, you going to eat your shrimp? So he had 2 churros, and I think red is his favorite churro color, and that is tuna with shrimp. That's when I was like, oh, maybe I should make him some shrimp. So I made him some shrimp. There you go. I'll leave all these plates here until I'm ready to clean up, in case he wants to eat something. Look at that. I wonder if Boo's been trying to escape. It's a good thing I checked.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Boo, Sammy, Richard, Nancy, Goldie, Ziggy, Ringo, Eva, Hydrox, and Ditto, the Lucky Ferals.
It is 6:45 a.m. Here's Stella, and I'm still getting ready for my day, but the Lucky Seven were howling at the door. Well, Nancy was. So I went downstairs. I gave them each a tablespoon of crunchies. And Stella, Splash, and Simba, they got a little bit of crunchies this morning also. Stella and Simba also got crunchies at 4 a.m. So I plan on feeding all the cats when I get back. Hopefully I should be back around 9. And I put the music on louder in Boo's room. So he had the music on very low all night. And then this morning I put it on louder. Right now he's resting comfortably on the day sofa. I'm going to have to kind of trick him with a squeeze up or a churu. I'm going to open it and maybe let him take like one lick of it. And then I'm going to have to like distract him, grab him, and put him in the carrier. That's the way I've been doing it. And I'm pretty sure it'll work. So fingers crossed about that. It is 7:10 a.m. and I just got Boo in the carrier. And I swear that music is like a miracle. Because, he was listening to the music. He was very relaxed from it. And I was like, I'm still going to distract him with a churu. So I showed him the churu. He wasn't really interested in it. And I opened the churu, and he still wasn't really interested in it. He went and he jumped back up onto the day sofa because he was walking around on the floor at that point. So I said, I'll put the churu down in front of him. So hopefully, like, he will mentally focus on the churu and not at what I'm doing. And I literally just picked him up and put him in the carrier. Like, he didn't even fight. He just let me put him in the carrier. And I definitely credit that music. It made a day and night difference. Like, day and night difference. The past 3 times I've used the music, it has been very easy to get him into the carrier. Very easy. And prior to that, it was very, very difficult. He's not too happy, but we'll probably leave in 15 or 20 minutes, even if I have to leave a little bit early. This is the churu that I opened for him, but he didn't eat it, so I'm giving it to Stella and Simba. They're enjoying it. The one other thing that I've been doing for the past 3 times I've put him in the carrier is wearing this old sweatshirt. It's just a really old, comfortable sweatshirt. It's like this burgundy color. It's made from 100% cotton. It's super soft and comfortable. And I make sure I wear this when I pick him up versus like short sleeves. I don't know if that's making a difference, but I don't know. I'm starting to get superstitious. So now, like, every time I need to put Boo in a carrier, I make sure I wear this sweatshirt. That's like another tip. And it does keep my arms from getting scratched up. And maybe he feels more secure if I pick him up in a sweatshirt. But I honestly think it's the music, because the way he came out from under the bed last week when I had the music playing, I mean, it just told me everything. Like, I just knew, okay, he's responding to the music. And that had happened years ago when I was first playing that music for the cats. I remember, I don't know if it was Simba or somebody was under the bed, and then they came out from under the bed. So that's what made me think of using it, and I'm so happy that I did. I'm also going to be using this music on Splash and the Lucky 7. So last night I was playing it on the TV in the living room, and Splash was relaxing on the play rug, and then this morning, which is like the first that this ever happened, my alarm went off at 6 a.m. So I got up and there were 2 cats on my bed. It was Simba and Stella. So I get up to get out of bed. I turn the lamp on next to my bed and I look, and who's laying on the floor near the bed? It's Splash. So Splash was laying on the floor in the bedroom staring at me. He's never done that before. So I gave him a few crunchies. I gave the others a few crunchies. And I was like, I wonder if that's the result of the music in Boo's room, because, Boo had the music on all night. Maybe Splash could hear it through the door, and maybe it's relaxing Splash also. I don't know, but I would like to start using it more. The artist, David Ty, I don't know how to say his last name. I found out he wrote a book. I think it's something about like species appropriate music or something like that. But I want to read that book. It's available on Kindle Unlimited right now. So I want to put that on my reading device and read that. I'm fascinated by the way Boo has reacted to this music. The only thing I wish is that I had some type of portable device that I could put in his carrier that would play the music while once I drop him off, because we're going to listen to it in the car. And then when I'm with him, what I do is I play it on my phone, and I put my phone on the carrier so he could still hear it. I swear it works so good the last trip to the vet. But I can't do that once I drop him off. And I should have thought about that sooner, because I do have an old iPod. I probably could have loaded it up into an old iPod and then figured out some way to attach it to an inside wall of the carrier and then just had it on repeat. I wish I would have thought about that sooner. There's no way to do that in 10 minutes as the iPod's not charged up or anything. Here's Boo. He's in the carrier. He's not too happy about it. We're going to go, Boo, okay? So what I did was I sprayed the inside of this cover with the Feel Away spray, but he's not too happy about it. Okay, Boo, we're gonna go, okay? Look at this, look. Good thing I'm checking this carrier, because the top, look at that. Look at that, I wonder if Boo's been trying to escape. It's a good thing I checked. All right, Boo, we're gonna go. You ready to go? Here's Ziggy, Nancy, and Richard. And they want to come upstairs, but they're not coming upstairs. There's Sammy. I just put the car on. It's pretty cold outside, so I had to put the heater on in the car. And I just checked the traffic. Then traffic says it's going to take 45 minutes to get there. So we are going to leave sooner rather than later, and within a few minutes. So just getting the last of the last things ready. It is 7:29. Boo is in the carrier, in the car. We're just about to leave. Even if it takes us 45 minutes to get there, we'll be within the window from 8 to 8:30. Hopefully he'll be comfortable. I'm going to play his favorite music, and hopefully it'll be a quick ride. I am definitely getting flashbacks from when I took the Lucky 7 to be spayed and neutered, because it was in October and right now it's September, so it's pretty much almost the same time of year. And I used to have to leave in the morning like this, drop them off, and then pick them up. And yeah, getting definitely feeling like I did back then. And then it also reminds me a lot of when I used to commute to work. The longest commute I had was when I commuted from Long Island to Manhattan. I used to take the train, and from the time I left home until the time I got to the office, it was a little bit more than an hour. So that was a pretty long commute. I did that for quite a few years. And then the second longest commute would have been when I was living in the city and then working in New Jersey. So I was living on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, between Lincoln Center and Central Park. And then I was commuting to New Jersey. And that wasn't too bad. So commuting to the office in the morning would maybe take me 20 minutes, but commuting home sometimes would take me a lot longer due to traffic, but usually because it's so hard to find parking, and I wanted to park on the street because it was free versus having to put the car in a garage overnight, which at that time it was probably around $35 or $40 a night to put the car in the garage. And I probably did that once a week, but that was the second longest commute I had. And then once I moved to New Jersey, my commutes were always pretty short. And then, of course, working from home now for the past 4 years, I've had no commute. So the GPS is trying to reroute us around some of the traffic. We are about 22 minutes away from the vet, which is only 8 miles, but there's a lot of traffic. Boo's doing good. He was just meowing at me a little bit, so I was checking on him. I'm telling him that he's going to spend the day at like a day camp. It's a day camp for cats, right, Boo? And you're going to relax. It's like a spa day camp, right, Boo? You're going to relax, and then people are going to make your mouth feel better, okay? They're going to clean up your teeth, and they're going to make your mouth feel better. So you're going to have a spa day, Boo. It's a spa day camp, okay? We are 2 minutes away from the vet, and Boo, first he made a pee-pee, and then he pooped. So it's really stinky right now, but thank God we're only 2 minutes away. I dropped Boo off at the vet an hour ago, and yeah, he pooped in the carrier, he peed in the carrier. Thankfully, as soon as I got him inside the vet's office, I said, can I put him in a room, please, so I could clean him up? And they were very nice, and they brought him right into an exam room, and the receptionist helped me clean him up. I mean, it was a very big mess. He took a giant poop. And then the vet came in, and I signed the paperwork, answered some questions, and then I was on my way. So the vet was doing 3 dentals today, and the other animals that I saw go in were 2 dogs. It was a big dog and then a very little dog. So Boo might be the only cat there today. I was hoping it would be all cats, but I think it's 2 dogs and Boo. The vet was very nice to Boo, and he did well, you know, once the carrier was cleaned up and everything. So I'm hoping everything goes well today. And I am now running some early errands. I feel like this is a ritual that I do every time I drop cats off for some kind of procedure. This is what I did every time I dropped a member of the Lucky 7 off for a procedure. I went to the supermarket, so I just went to Trader Joe's, and then I'm going to run a few more errands. Some stores don't open until 9:30, so that's why I'm just kind of trying to stretch out some time right now. I'll probably be home by 10:30 the latest. I'll give the cats the rest of their breakfast, and then we'll get our day started. She said pickup time is usually between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. So I should expect a phone call from them, and they'll let me know when to pick them up. It's 11:20 a.m. I just got home a few minutes ago, and look what I found in Marshall's. I could not believe it. There's Stella. There's the palm tree scratcher that I found at Marshall's, like, I don't know, several weeks ago, a month ago at this point. And I went to Marshall's to see maybe they got some more in. I thought maybe I'd buy another one. They didn't have that. Instead, they had this. I'm so excited. You have no idea. This is a get around ergonomic pet carrier. And as soon as I saw it, I knew it was pet mate, even though it doesn't say it on the tag. Like, it doesn't say pet mate on the tag. Like, I didn't see it. But it's the same exact color as the carrier Boo was in today, except the one he was in today is like a rectangle shape, and this is a round shape. Also, the top of it has the same exact, it's like the same exact structure as the other pet mate carriers that I have, except this one is round. So I was super excited because a month ago, when I was having problems getting Boo into a carrier, I was literally searching on Amazon for different shape carriers. Like, I wanted something that was different from the typical rectangular shape that I've been using. I don't know why this did not pop up in a search, because from what I was able to tell today, this has actually been on Amazon since May. So it seems that it's a fairly new product, only a few months old. Maybe it's only been on the market for a few months. And I'm just so happy I randomly found it in Marshall's. The problem was it had no price on it. I looked all over this thing. There was no price on it. So I took it to one of the employees there who was stocking shelves, because they got a lot of inventory and there are a lot of people there just stocking shelves. And I said, can you tell me what the price is on this? So she had to take it to another employee. And while they were talking and discussing it, I looked it up on Amazon, and this is going for, I think it was like $49.99 on Amazon. So that gave me an idea of like what a good Marshall's price would be. So when they came back, she told me $24.99. She goes, we can sell this for $24.99. I was like, yeah, I'll definitely take it. That's like half the price that it is on Amazon. So I just got it home. I have not put it together yet. I'm probably not going to put it together until either later today or even maybe within the next few days. I don't think it's like a top priority today. I have to catch up with other things. But I was so happy to find this. I'm going to be so curious to see if it makes the cats more comfortable to be in this round shape versus the rectangle shape, because they love their round cat beds. They love their round cat towers. You know, they like to curl up. So maybe it'll just be more comfortable for them. Maybe it will keep them calmer. I don't know. So what happened was, after I picked this up, I was passing another Marshall's on the way home, and I said, let me pop into the other Marshall's just to see what they have. Maybe they'll have this carrier also. And look what I got. They had this same exact carrier. They just had one on the shelves, so maybe Marshall's are just getting one in just to kind of test the waters with it. But check the price out on this one. The price on this one is $39.99. So it appears that they're selling these at Marshall's for $39.99. They're selling these on Amazon for $49.99. And I just got really lucky with a really good deal on this one for $24.99. So now I have two of these round carriers, and I'm really happy that they're made by PetMate, because most of my other carriers are PetMate and they're super high quality, super sturdy. Even a cat like Boo has not been able to escape from them. This now brings me up to 11 carriers. So I have 11 cats and I now have 11 carriers. Two of the carriers are not hard-sided and they're not PetMate. One is like a soft-sided, almost like a duffel bag type carrier, which I don't know if I really trust, because, you know, Sammy, she's a tiny cat. She was able to get out of a bag with zippers. So I don't know if I trust zippers with the cats. And then the other one is the Sport Pet carrier that I was using with Boo and Stella and the kittens when they were living outside. And that worked great until Boo escaped from that one. So I'm kind of hesitant to use those two, but I do have them if I need to. Since Boo is spending the day at the vet's office, I think I'm going to put all of this bedding from the day sofa in the laundry. I'll give this a good washing, and then I'll put it in the dryer, and then I'll have everything fresh for when he comes back. I don't know how long he's going to stay in this room or how long his recovery is going to be. So I think it would be a good idea to do that now. Look what else I picked up on the way home. So Marshall's is near Hobby Lobby, and I haven't been in Hobby Lobby in a long time. So I was like, let me just walk through there and see what they have. And they had like all their Christmas stuff 50% off already. And I got this. So this is a bell garland. It's basically really rustic looking, which I kind of like. It looks like, I don't know, like kind of twine or something. And then it has these bells. And as soon as I saw this, I said, oh my gosh, this is going to be perfect for the bottom of the Christmas tree, because I always hang bells around the bottom of the Christmas tree. And the fact that this is a garland is just going to make it really easy to hang a bunch of bells around the bottom of the tree. I like how it looks. The gold is really kind of shiny. I would have liked it if it was more like a vintage weathered appearance, but it's fine. And it's not too heavy, because my concern always is it's going to be too heavy and is it going to like droop the bottom of the tree. So, I mean, there's a little bit of weight to these because they are real metal, but it's not like too heavy. So I think if I drape it around, not the edges of the branches on the bottom, but kind of like the middle of the branches on the bottom, then I think it'll do really good, and it'll be plenty of bells. So it'll be more bells than I've ever had around the bottom of the tree. So that'll be really good. And this was half price. So the full price was $8.99. So I got it for like $4.50. I thought that was a great deal. So I'm just going to put this away and take it out around Christmas time. It is 2:30 p.m. and Boo's room has been completely refreshed. We have freshly laundered linens on his day sofa. This is his side table, and I cleaned this off. So we have a bunch of churros here. We have some spring water in case I need to mix some water into his food. We have soothing all-purpose wipes. We have the Vetericyn Hydrogel for his neck. We have the Fellaway Classic Spray. I use that on the carrier. Some tissues. This is the flea dip. This is the flea comb. If I get any fleas on him, I trap the fleas in a piece of toilet paper and then I dunk it in the water. And so that's pretty much everything we need here on this table. And I vacuumed the floor as best as I could quickly. This is the CD player boombox that is going to be playing his favorite music. And I also cleaned the windows, and it has the fresh runner near the windows. There's no stains on the runner. It's been there a day or two now, so I'm just keeping it there. It's almost 3 p.m. Here's Simba and Splash, and I just realized that there's some guy outside cutting tree branches down. I guess he is the landscaper from next door. Anyway, I just got the phone call from the vet about Boo. He only had to have 4 teeth taken out. So it was the fang, the loose fang. She said that once they got him under anesthesia, that it was, definitely very loose. So she took that out. And then she took out 4 of the little front teeth. I think they're called incisors. She said that they were starting to get loose and rotting. So she took those out. And she said he still has a lot of teeth, and he has all of his chewing teeth. She was concerned about his back teeth, like on the sides, because they had a lot of tartar. But she said once they cleaned them up, she said that they're all in really good shape. So she said all his chewing teeth are in really good shape. It was just some of the front teeth that needed to come out. I am so happy that it was only 4 teeth because, in my mind, I was thinking, how many teeth is he going to have out? And I was definitely hoping, like, she was not going to tell me, like, it's, the whole mouth. She said he did really well under anesthesia. Everything went fine. He's resting comfortably now. And then I could pick him up around 4 p.m. So I have to just hurry up, finish what I'm doing, and then get up there. But hopefully it'll be before rush hour starts. So I have to keep him on soft food. She says to keep him on soft food for around 5 days until his mouth heals. I'll probably keep him on soft food for a week. But then he could go back to eating whatever he wants, she said. And so that should be good. And I'm so happy that he still has all those chewing teeth because he could eat, his favorite chunky raw meat, and that would be good. Also, she said that she kept all the teeth. So I'm really happy about that because I forgot to tell her that if she took out the fang, please keep it because I have his other fang and, I want this one also. And she said that she always keeps all the teeth, any teeth that she takes out. So very, very happy to hear that things went well and that I get to pick him up earlier rather than later. It is 5:10 p.m. We just got home. I'm going to let Boo out. Boo has a bandage on his leg where he had his IV. And she said to leave that on for a good hour and then to unravel it and not to cut it off. How you doing, Boo? So they took out his fang and his other 3 little front teeth. He is prescribed gabapentin for 2 weeks. She said to make sure he has it for at least a week in his dinner at night, just once a day. And he was also given an antibiotic injection. I believe it's the Serenia. So that's like a 2-week antibiotic injection. And, Covenia? Is it the Covenia? Serenia? I don't know. I have to look it up. But basically, it was a 2-week antibiotic injection. And then she gave me enough gabapentin for 2 weeks. Although she said, monitor him after a week, see how he's doing. She says it's going to take him a full 2 weeks to heal, but he might do a little bit better. It's so weird to look at him without any of the top fangs. He doesn't have any top fangs left. His bottom 2 fangs are very strong. She said they're very healthy. A lot of whatever teeth he has left is very healthy. So she said he still has a lot of teeth left. He did really good. And, he might still be a little bit groggy from the anesthesia. He was under for almost 45 minutes. She says that's fairly common. How you doing, Boo? How you doing, Boo? How you doing, Boo? Oh, you look so different, Boo. Oh, poor Boo. Poor Boo. He's missing his teeth. You're missing some of your teeth, Boo. I got to get used to Boo without his top fangs. So I just want him to relax in his room. I don't want him jumping around. I'm not going to give him any food yet. She said to give him food around 7 p.m. She said that this needs to stay on him because it's putting pressure on like where the IV injection was. I wonder if I could give him a squeeze up. I don't know if I could give him a squeeze up or not, because they could still be kind of nauseous from the anesthesia. So that's why I don't want to do too much. Although one of the shots that he got was to keep him from being nauseous from the anesthesia. He's acting a little weird. Most likely from the anesthesia that he was on. One thing I forgot to do is scoop the litter. I wanted to scoop all the litter before I went and picked him up. But I didn't expect for them to say, oh yeah, pick him up by 4 o'clock. So I still have to do that. Okay, you're going to relax there. Okay. I should probably wipe him down with the pet wipes because, you know, he pooped in the carrier, and even though we did clean the carrier out really good, he might not feel clean from it. It's 6:30, so I'm going to come in here and take Boo's bandage off of his arm. Boo, were you eating litter? Were you eating litter? What's on your mouth? What's on your mouth? You were eating litter? Why are you eating litter, Boo? Boo just had a churu, and I got his bandage off. It was a little tricky to get it off, but I got it off. So, we're making progress. He actually ate a churu. He didn't want one like an hour ago, but he just had one. And I'll give him his dinner around 7 with his gabapentin. Okay, Boo. You had it, okay? Just, we have to go easy, okay? We gotta go easy and slow. He keeps rubbing on his carrier. So I scooped all the litter, and you're gonna jump? You're not supposed to be jumping. Okay. You're gonna relax? Lick what's left on that? No? Okay, you're doing good, Boo. You're doing really good. You're doing really good, Boo. He tried to jump onto the shelves by the window, and then he misjudged it, so he didn't really make it. So then he jumped up on the cat tower. You need to still relax, Boo. So they say when cats have anesthesia, it could take 24 hours to really get out of their system, even potentially 48 hours. I was looking online because, you know, Boo's still not himself. He's still kind of like, what's going on? But he's getting better. I want to spend, you know, a good amount of time in here just relaxing with him and just making sure he's okay. But I do need to get all the other cats fed. I need to put water in all the water bowls. And I need to take the garbage out. It's garbage day. And I need to get to bed early today because I have to be up early. I have to be up at 6 o'clock tomorrow again for another early appointment. So at least I don't have to take a cat with me tomorrow. So that's going to make it a lot easier. I don't have to worry about getting a cat in a carrier or anything. So here are the 2 PetMate carriers next to each other. So the one I've been using is on the right, and this is the rectangular one, and then the new round one is on the left. So overall, they are really similar in size. It does look like the rectangular carrier is a little bit bigger inside. Also, the rectangular carrier is a little bit taller, but I think it's also a little bit narrower. I think the round one is a little bit wider. This is how they compare if I put one on top of the other. So the rectangular one is definitely a little bit longer, and the width is pretty similar. I think the round one is just a little bit wider. But check this out. So this is the round cat bed that Sharon made for the cats. It is a perfect fit for this carrier. Like, perfect. So I could actually put a cat bed inside these carriers. How amazing is that? Like, how comfortable would that be for the cats? To be able to travel in a cat bed. The cats would be able to travel in their cat bed. The only problem we would have is like today with Boo when he pooped and peed in the carrier. But I could put the cat bed in the carrier, and then I could put the training pads on top. So at least that would offer some protection to the cat bed. But these cat beds are machine washable, so I could always, you know, if one gets soiled, I could always put it in the washing machine. But I cannot believe what a perfect fit that is. That is such a perfect fit. So here's what I'm going to do. I am just going to leave this here with the cat bed in it. And let's see if anyone goes in on their own. So this cat bed was like on the floor under this little record unit. So I put the cat bed in here and I'm going to leave this here. And we'll just see if anyone uses it. It's about 7:15 p.m. and I just gave Boo a churu with the gabapentin in it. I had to put a little bit of Fortiflora on top. Hopefully he'll eat this whole thing. Once he eats this, he should start feeling better because the gabapentin will kick in. Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos, and please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.